Come put some thrift finds away with me.
I love to thrift, but I love to style, store, and organize my thrift finds even more. So let's get to it. You already know I'm going to start with my earrings. They're like a plastic and faux metal material, so I can soak them in hydrogen peroxide for 15 to 20 minutes and they should be just fine. So while those are soaking, let's move on. I bought this pin thinking I was going to make a magnet out of it, but I want it to be gold. I'll use my needle nose pliers to pull off that pin, which is an essential tool to have if you're a thrifter. And also essential is rub and buff. My favorite is antique gold, although this one was a little bit more dull. I think I should have gotten regular gold. The rule is a little dabble do ya, and I knew I got too much right away. It was starting to kind of get into all the crevices. I flipped it over and decided to paint the back just because I had enough paint. And then I dabbed some off so you could see more of the texture of the original flowers. Overall though, I'm pleased and I'm going to set it aside to dry. I got these gold flakes to use for crafts. I don't know what I'm going to use them for yet, but I'm going to put them in my craft closet. They seem glitter adjacent, so I'm going to put them in the glitter container. I don't know, it makes sense to me. Let's move on to the safety pin container. And yes, I'm doing laundry, please excuse that. A while back, I put my safety pins away next to all my sewing stuff in the laundry room. The comically large ones came in a container, but the rest of my safety pins were not in a container. So the next time I went thrifting, I made sure to look for a container that would work, and I thought this one was perfect. Is there a need for anyone to have this many safety pins? Probably not, but I have the room, I have the container, so I'm going to keep them. As I was dumping these, I realized that that was an assorted group, and so there were different sizes in there. There is going to be a time where I actually sort through these, but today is not that day. So today I'm going to put my comically large ones in there, and then I will be good to go. I'm sure I'll find what I'm looking for when I need it. This container worked way better than I could have imagined. It fits perfectly up there. I'm very happy with it. As for the little container it came in, that's going to go to the garage to the container. So many options in the future. Moving on to these candles, I did get these gold tapers. I do plan to burn them at Christmas time. For the time being, I'm going to put them with the rest of my candles in the candle drawer. Since they're in a box already, I'm going to keep them in there so they don't bleed. Next up are vintage greeting cards. I had one birthday, one thank you, couple anniversaries, and a wedding. First, I was going to do the small birthday card. The adult birthday divider has a little pocket so the little ones don't get lost, so I'm going to put that in there. Then I filed the thank you card. The rest go in the wedding and anniversary section. These ones, I thought I was going to get away with not having to fold them, but I did have to fold them, no big deal, and I filed them. Let's move on to my trinket items. The holiday ones I've been putting on this tiny trinket shelf in my haul. I did add that little November bell, which was so adorable. It didn't fit, so I put it on top, which I like. The turkey was a perfect addition, and then the ceramic pumpkin, I decided to go on top because the bell is also that kind of material, so don't love all the pumpkins on the shelf, but that's all right. The other two items go on my big trinket shelf, so here's a look at that. I have a friend who let me know that her grandma used to have those Tums in her purse all the time growing up, and she just bought herself a trinket shelf, so I think I'm going to give it to her. I love the container, but I'm going to give it to her anyway. So the scissors found a really good home. I had to move that key. I think it'll probably end up moving again. And the beer next to Dino. I love the way it looks. Now onto my embroidery floss. I have been working on some embroidery projects. I ran out of like a peach skin color, and so I had purchased this at the thrift store, and I'm going to add it to my collection. I have really enjoyed it, guys. And the last two items are also magnet related. I thought this pin would be a cute magnet, so I'm going to take it off. I was so nervous I was going to break him, but it actually popped off really easily. I'm almost out of tiny magnets, so I need to order some more. But I just glued 2 magnets each on each of those smaller ones and now onto the frame. I had this vintage postcard that didn't have a corner on it, so I thought it might be the perfect one to use, and I wouldn't mind cutting it. And isn't that beautiful? I love it so much. This oval frame I thought was a little bit more spring, so I wanted to change it out, and I love the change. Same with this little flower down here. It looks more springy, so I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to add the little scarecrow. I'm going to shift some things around so flowers aren't next to flowers, gold's not next to gold, you know. And this is what I landed on. I did just change out my vintage postcards to add some Thanksgiving ones. And look at that frame. It's beautiful. Loving the gallery. So let's finish up by putting away my earrings. The last step, and possibly the most important, is to go ahead and clean the posts with an alcohol wipe. I don't have any other green earrings, so I don't have a green container, but I thought I might put them in the kind of like everyday grab container instead. And that way I'll remember I have them. Perfect. Thanks for coming along with me, guys.